Pick a card. How is your love felt? Eros edition 18 plus. Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Tough Doll Tarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number one, you chose this image on the right-hand side of your screen. It is a very beautiful image. If you're not watching, I'll describe it real quick. Multi-layered. It seems to have like two big pillars behind, whereas this one person appears to be looking towards the past, towards the present, towards the future, and all sorts of different colors and hair colors spilling forward. Really quite pleasant. Pile number one, this is an 18 plus video. Oh goodness, hold on. We're not wanting the bees to come join us, even though they're pretty cool. Pile one, this is an 18 plus video. So if you're not 18, please do click off. I will make some different ones in the future for you guys to be able to watch and listen to. How is your love felt? And we're looking at the Greek style of things. So the Greek words for love. One of them is Eros, which means sexual. Again, 18 plus. We're looking at the image, and pile number one, I feel like your love is felt by being very colorful. You're multi-layered, a solid explorer of experiences. You're open and down to try new things. You like to dress up, perhaps cosplay. I can totally see you doing like Simon Says in bed, that kind of version. And all the senses, you're pretty much developing and opening up all the senses. And that's how it's felt. It's like you are felt on the 3D plane, on the 5D plane. I feel like even people from the past, lovers that you've had from old, can still like think about it, ruminate, and really get caught up in their feels about you, simply because you have this one magnificent quality that's hard to match, okay? So I also downloaded a song for you, and I'm trying not to make these readings long, but I know this one is going to be, so I apologize ahead of time. Pile number one, the song that I kept hearing, or at least the verse, was You're Unbelievable. So it's in excess. I think it's in excess. Anyways, the things you say, your purple prose just gives you away. The things you say. You're unbelievable, something like that. Well, anyways, the song itself has a different meaning. It talks about a person saying you're unbelievable and I'm going to walk away kind of a thing, and I'm leaving. But what I'm getting really is that you're just unbelievable in general. And yes, people that have walked away or vice versa, they think that you're unbelievable as well because of your, I want to say, yes, your sexual prowess. That's nice. But also, I feel like your energy, your aura, your very multi-layered self lends itself to be very sexual. I'm trying to clean up my act right here, but not having a lot of success there. And by the way, pile number one, thank you guys so much. If you have joined my channel, if you have subscribed, I really appreciate all of you guys. This is my second channel. I do have one more channel. My first one is called PsychicMD, where I have over 700 videos for your viewing pleasure. In August of 2024, I also have a giveaway in both channels. So you might want to check out the community channel on both and look at the guidelines. Moving on. Pile number one, I feel like how your love is felt. I feel like it's riveting. It is fun. It is intoxicating is what I'm hearing. And one thing that keeps standing out with this, you're unbelievable, on top of all of that, as if that isn't enough, right? Is your dirty talk is on point. So I want to say that people kind of maybe how your love is felt is that people could like fantasize about how you would do your dirty talk. And if you do, or if you have with them, then I feel like they kind of run those words over and over in their heads. Pile one, how is your love felt? Eros. Yeah. So King of Wands. What? And I don't pull these and look at them. If I do, I will let you know, and I'll let you know why. I love the surprise. Now, pile number one, the King of Wands, I feel like this is like, your love is felt. It's, I heard, is it omnipotent? I don't know how to pronounce that word. But anyways, I feel like you are the king of the jungle, the queen of the jungle. I feel like with this wand, you have, many people have fallen under your spell. Let's just say that, because the King of Wands doesn't achieve being king for no reason. He's gone through all of the desires, and he's gone through chasing a multitude of things, mostly his ideas or her ideas, right? And I'm going to say that you really part the clouds. I don't know if you've ever felt the clouds when they're really thick and dense. It's almost, I don't know, it's just a texture I've never been able to really describe. And I feel like you kind of move those out of the way. And look, so these I think are like lightning bugs, but I'm thinking about that bee right here. You know what? Your love can sting. How is your love felt in the Greek way, in Eros? In Eros meaning like in the smexual sense, smexual love, right? That's what we're talking about here. I feel like you could be all encompassing. You could be riveted. You could be very changeable, mutable at times. But I'm looking at this a snake that I've never noticed on top of the line right here. And then of course with the crow on top with the crown chakra popping, I feel like how your sexual love is felt is that you just know how to fire on the right cylinders, on what to tap into, that you move very intuitively, and it's extremely attractive. And I got, yeah, hello candle. Hello candle. That one's dancing. Maybe you like to dance, right? Do a little dance, make a little love, that's all right. Okay, so 10 of Cups right here. I feel like people can get so intoxicated. Maybe this is about like having a good time and having some drinks, or under some kind of a, people feel not only hypnotized, but like they're under some kind of influence, under your spell, that kind of a thing. And I feel like even like animals and, oh, Crystal, it is 18 plus here, do forgive. So I feel like, you know what, they are willing to be any animal for you. If you want to imitate, or if you want them to be like a bat, or if you want them to be a wolf, that they're willing to be that they're willing to be harnessed and be like whatever you want in order to experience you. And I feel like you're so multifaceted that the end of the story is that you are, with the 9 of Cups on top, kind of like a fantasy, a dream girl, dream guy. People look at you and easily think smacks, right? They think Eros is a type of a love language for you. And maybe that's how you communicate. And maybe that's how your energy just exudes into the world. And I'm going to say that it is ever growing, ever changing. And with the lightning bugs right here and the bee trying to get in earlier, I feel like your love could be a little bit stingy. And I think about like, like those whips. Not that I would know, wink, wink. But I'm just going to say, you know, like a cat o' nine tails, or like any of the floggers and things like that, if it's like thuddy, or if you want something more stingy. So you're going to, you know, grab the quality according to the effect that you want. And, you know, if you're curious, the thuddy ones are best, I think. But anyways, moving on right here. How is your love, your Eros love felt? Pile number 1, if you're liking this kind of reading, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what it is that interests you, what you would like to see more of. That would be fantastic. And pile 1. What time apart? A time of separation. So I feel like people feel the loss. And they're like, wait a minute. I had all these flavors. I had things going on. I had whatever. And for whatever reason, whether you walked away, they walked away, makes no difference. Your loss is deeply felt, especially in the sexual arena. So if they move on to different partners, or if they kind of decide, that's so bad, my brain. If they decide that they're going to experience different people, whatever, however you want to phrase it, I feel like they are looking behind and they're kind of like, I can't believe I'm moving away, that kind of a thing. These people could like travel, or they could be like travelers in life in general, right? But I feel like there's a sense of like destitution, a sense of like sadness, a sense of I cannot move on because I've lost something, and they want to return to it. They want to circle the block. They want to check things out once again. And I don't know if they can make it back, because they're on their own journey. Once they leave the ship, once they leave this plane, once they reach this port, however you want to put it, next. I'm just kidding. So you're unbelievable. You're unforgettable. What? Okay, very cool. And hey, if you guys want me to pull the cards on camera so that you can see that these cards totally just tell their own story, you don't have to manipulate anything, please let me know, and I'll make a little section that way you can click on it if, you know, you guys are so inclined. But if not, that's fine too. Physical touch is a love language. A tender touch means so much. And I feel like people could crave and miss your touch. How your love is felt is through touch. They miss the tension that you have in your hands, the way that you can squeeze them. Sounds weird, but your level of affection, if you are a petter, I can be a petter anyways. So just the way you lightly touch people, or, you know, that kind of a vibe. Your touch is definitely missed. Your touch is something that brings to mind, it's like nobody else can make me feel that way, is what I'm hearing. Okay. Pile number 1. What else do we have here? Oh, and then words. Maybe you have a lot of like very unique way of expressing things, or soft words, or people dream or think about it, because these cups are like in an arc, a little bit like where the rainbow would be, right? Okay. How's your love felt? Eros style. So sexual. 10 of Swords. It is sharp. It is decisive. How is your sexual love felt? It leaves people kind of in a puddle, spilt. Like they did a whole bunch of gymnastics and mathematics in their mind, or in your bed, or whatever. Pardon me. That's why I opened up the window. And yeah, I just invited critters in. We're not trying to have that today or tomorrow. Actually, any day either. So, how is your love felt? I feel like people just feel kind of rendered speechless. They don't even know what to think. And they're searching their library, because, you know, everything is frame of reference. And they're thinking, well, what frame of reference do I have for pile number 1? I don't even know what that looks like. So if they've been with you or not, I feel like they want to read up on things. They want to look at things. They want to explore. And maybe you have turned them on to new ways and things that they can't really rewind, and their mind is spinning. Also, I feel like, again, the loss. So a lot of people miss you in a sexual way as well. How's your love felt? Queen of Cups. It is deep. It is incredibly wet. It is like pouring out your soul, where everybody can have a look. But also with her attire right here, in some way, it is very purifying. Okay. It is very edifying. I have to get through this reading and not get caught up. But I feel like it's very down to earth. I feel like you kind of send them in a stratosphere in their mind, and then you hurl it back on earth. And it could be a little bit jarring for people. I think it can be a very beautiful experience. Very like, wow. Almost like no words. And then all I heard was like dead silence for a moment in my head. So maybe I feel like that's how people feel your sexual energy, how your love is felt. Okay. Well, the Page of Wands. Yeah. So also the Page of Wands is all about like self-exploring. And it could be that kind of a thing where it's like people get curious, and how your love is felt as they wonder and they fantasize, like, how would you take care of yourself? That kind of a thing. How do you handle your business? How, when there's nothing in sight, if you're going through a dry spell, or if you're celibate, or whatever your thing is. Oh, you did get in. Okay. Well, if you scream, I done got stung by a bee. I'm just saying. I might be a tough doll, but I'm not really tough, you know? Anyways, moving on. Sneaky little bastard. Here we go. 8 of Cups. Yeah, it's a lot about mourning. People mourning you. People feeling sad that, you know, you have walked away, that kind of a thing. And they are looking. They're like, well, are they ever going to return? Look at all of my cups. And I measured them, and they are set up in such a way that nobody can miss it. And I feel like this is giving me tower vibes. Like a lot of time, well, the tower to me means like explosion. It means, I'm sorry if my audio is going in and out. I am kind of whipping my head around to keep an eye on that bee, because it's the bee in me right now. Here we go. What a brat. Okay. So I feel like, yeah, it could definitely be like a tower moment where, it's almost like everything was so painstakingly done. And in order to find anyone who's willing to put forth any amount of effort like that is almost unheard of. And they are shook. And that's how your sexual style, how your love is felt. Look, strength clarified by the strength right here. So, and the 8 of Coins. People, your love is felt that you put a lot of labor into it. It took a lot of labor of love, dedication. It took, so sorry about the audio, because I hate when I hear my audio go in and out, because I'm whipping around looking at this and that. But listen, I live in the rainforest. Not really, but I live in yeah, there's a lot of critters and things here. So I'm going to be whipping around and making sure that, you know, making sure I got my own 6. How about that? So I'm going to say that you make it hard for people to move on. People want to kind of capture and recapture that moment. They want to replay things. If they have any video, audio of you, definitely it is a prized possession. Make no mistake about that. How is your love felt? Is that long after you're gone, people all of a sudden acknowledge like, wow, I didn't realize how much time and effort you put into that, how much planning, how much like you really study people, how you acknowledge it and how you bring it full circle, how you really give to people in order to have them have the best experience possible. So moving forward, I feel like people, when they in retrospect look back, they picture you and they're like, well, nobody can match that energy because you're super strong. Your mind is strong. It is sharp. It is agile. And I feel like a lot of things that you do is you realize that the biggest sex organ that we have available to us is in the brain. And therefore, of course, you're going to utilize it to the maximum. So the Knight of Coins right here, I feel like how your love is felt in a sexual way is that you could really kind of play with people's backs. Also, you give them a sense of like serenity, but also it is a little bit like gray and murky and they're not really sure. So not knowing exactly what to expect from you is kind of part of the turn on. They're not really, you know, like this is definitely not vanilla. This isn't like, okay, it's Tuesday, Martha. Sorry. My calendar says it's you and me and it's 5. Let's go. That kind of a thing. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I'm trying to, you know, reel it in and do good. I'm trying to do better. That's all. So the Knight of Coins right here. Yeah. This talks about how you can really help people kind of even escape their present and send them into a whole different stratosphere by this person's wings right here, by taking your time, that you're not in a rush, even though we had the page right here indicated. But I feel like with the Knight of Coins, you're going to take a little bit of time. The Knight does tend to rush a little bit, but I feel like more it's your mastery of things and you make people want to rush through and get to the finale. But anybody whose season is really aware, you know, especially if you do anything with like Tantra and things like that, that might be something that you turn people onto, by the way. Anyways, that's all not a different topic, but I'm not going to say I'm well versed on all the things. So do your own studies. So that's what I have for you. Pile number 1. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like and let me know what you think, if this resonated or if you would like this kind of thing. I was kind of considering doing all of the different 8 languages of the Greek love languages, you know, so agape would be like for everybody, or Eros, we did the sexual, philia, the deep friendship, we got the playfulness, the long-standing love, the self-love, familial love, and obsessive love. So I don't know. I was thinking about doing something with that, like maybe doing a series of 3. Let me know. Love you. Bye. Hi, Pal 2. My name is Griselle with Tough Doll Tarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2. How's your love felt? Eros style, which is really interesting because look at this. I have remnants of what I call wishes, the soul of a wish. I did this like little ceremony at my other channel, and oh, you know, we have the skin of the paper that burns up and it lands back down, and sometimes I'll put it in my burning little cauldron thing, and that's what landed here. So I feel like you could be a wish fulfillment, or people could wish for you. Pile number 2, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for you guys who have subscribed. I really appreciate all the comments, all the support. It's been really refreshing. This is my 2nd channel. I do have a 1st channel. It's called PsychicMD. If you guys are curious, where I have over 700 videos of very similar natures in order for you to peruse through. I do have giveaways for August 2024 on both channels. You can check those out in the community tab. Moving on, pile number 2, you chose this lovely image to the right-hand side of your screen. And what I'm getting from that, it's if you can't look, if you're at work or whatever, just listening, there's a lot of yellow being portrayed here. The background has a lot of, it looks like diamond textured kind of a thing, almost looks like snake skin texture, but diamond texture. It's very vibrant, edgy, the main color being yellow. But a big old swatch of yellow laser across the eyeballs on this image. And I thought it was really cool. So I feel like how your love is felt, okay, Eros style. And by the way, if you are not 18 and up, please click off. This is not for you. I'll make some other ones. This one just happened to come across that way, and that's what Spirit was telling me to do, and that's what I'm doing. But pile one, I feel like how your love is felt in the sexual way is that you have lots of confidence, that you can burn through people, that you can see the depth of their confidence, their level of confidence, their tonality, and it's very unsettling for them as well. You could make people feel a little bit insecure, I'm not gonna lie. So you could like to look in people's eyes when you're, getting busy, making love, whatever you want to call it, doing the dirty. I don't know what y'all are terminology is today, but the pattern in the back feels to me like diamonds. So you're coming across as being felt like very polished, like you're very polished. You have maybe a template or a way of doing things that is definitely unique, that is memorable, that is eye-catching, enticing, and almost, I feel like, not caged, but it's like, whoa, I didn't realize I was going to be here, and here we are, and I'm not leaving, that kind of a thing. So it's giving, polish. It's giving experienced, nuanced, edgy. So I'm thinking for those of you guys that are old enough, a little bit older, just a little bit. I'm thinking that movie 9.5 Weeks with Mickey Rourke. If you have ever seen it, then you know there's this one part where he's asking her to pick up the money and she's on all fours in like a business suit. And it's very, I love that movie. Great movie, by the way. So it's timeless, guys. Come on. So he's making her kind of crawl and grab the money. She's like, I don't want it. And she's kind of like furious and angry with him. And he's just sitting there kind of very casual and looking at her like, you're going to crawl and get it. Now crawl and get the money. That kind of a vibe. But I feel like you could have that really distinct vibe to you. A lot of confidence again. And it's like role playing, and not that you're making people do something against their will, but in spite of, you're like, come on, just try it. And then they do, and they're like, wow, this is kind of hot, that kind of a thing. So it's giving steamy is my point. How is your love felt, Eros style? Your sexual love, okay? We have different kinds of love. The same thing as saying I love pizza is not the same thing as how I feel. Pile number 2 is love. So let's get this going. Your love is felt. It's all encompassing, but I'm going to say that first of all, you start with you. And why wouldn't you? It's no different than, that stereotypical example when you're in an airplane and the oxygen masks drop, you're going to put yours on first before you help anyone else's. Otherwise, if you're out, that's a problem. Love yourself first. I feel like what this is stating, that your love is felt, it's not only for other people, it is internal as well. And this could be actually even a higher perspective. I'm seeing like a camera just zoom out and diffuse or focus so that it looks throughout, honestly, like a geographical map. So I feel like you could have not only self-love, but like a mankind love, that kind of a vibe. But of course, when you get like laser focused, it's dialed in, and you make people want to love themselves in a similar fashion. I feel like a lot of times you can love people like physically, and you start with their emotionality. You guys can be very, very not emotional, but you could really lift people's self-esteem, and to see that whatever it is that they might be insecure about or whatever doesn't even matter, doesn't even factor into the picture, or that very thing that they're insecure about is actually very special. Why did I flip these versus the others? I have no idea. Natural evolution. She is wearing yellow. Let the situation unfold naturally. You got a situation, do we? Pile number 2, 10 of Pentacles. That's what's up. I had no idea that we were going to have a little bee. Are you a busy little bee? So I love all these. That one comes from, if you guys have been with me at all, that one comes from, oh my goodness, I just watched it the other day. What is it called again? With Russell Crowe. and Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, it's not Galatians, Crystal. Bible or movie? It's not coming to my brain. I just went totally brain dead. Gladiator, duh. Okay, so Gladiator, and where Joaquin Phoenix leans down and he's like, have you been a busy little bee? And the world just stops. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So you could have something a little bit like, not only are you a busy bee and you bring a lot, all of these bees have beautiful coins that they're bringing to the table. And that typically to me is like the family life, family wife, happy wife, that kind of a thing, happy life. I messed up all the analogies and all the examples. Pile number 2, you're welcome. So listen, pile number 2. Oh, what's up? How is your love felt? Eros style. Well, let me tell you, you have a lot of eyes on thee, okay? 1, 2, 3, eyes on thee. Look at all of these eyes. This peacock is like, hey, what's up? But also you have the overarching cup thing. I think that's cool how they did that, by the way. So I feel like you could have a lot of eyes on you. I hear it like a circus. So I don't know. But I have the 2 of Cups right here. People feel really deeply connected to you. They feel like with the 9 of Cups, this is all about like you are fine. You know, it's like a wish fulfillment. But I'm getting also like the 9 of Pentacles, like you're individual and you don't have a template like anyone else. And so your cups are felt totally different. You're more like that fantasy girl, fantasy guy. And yet I feel like people can lose confidence if they're not intimately connected with you. They don't really understand that you are meant here to build people up, that you are meant here to really help bring out the best in people and to really give them more confidence in what they have, even if they have great self-confidence. I feel like people could really mistake you for somebody who's like that shiny object. Oh, don't touch it, but I would fantasize about her, fantasize about him till, you know, the cows come home, that kind of a thing. And that's great and that's fine. But I also feel like with the 2 of Cups right here, they also intuitively know that you have something to bring to the table that is a deep connectivity. And that is a huge lure for people. And that's how your love is felt, is that you have a deep connection, that you, because I think of the Ace of Cups as body, mind, heart, and soul, that kind of a thing. You're firing at all the cylinders, okay? But you are a pretty package. I hear pretty little package. I don't know what that means, guy, girl, whatever. Doesn't make a difference to me, but this is pile number 2, how your love is felt. Natural evolution. You rock that world. I want to rock with you. What's going on here? We don't know. But listen, I feel like when you choose somebody, they're a little bit shook. They're a little bit shocked. They're a little bit like, really? Me? Like you want me? And they're surprised because it's not often, like we're built to think, well, you know, tomorrow we have to work hard for this. We have to work hard for that. And we'll enjoy our years when we retire. But in the meantime, it's 80 years of hard labor. So just do it. Excuse me. That was interesting. But I'm going to tell you that that's part of the reason why people get really surprised when you pick them, because you have a lot of admirers. And when you do say, yep, I'm looking at number 8 right over there. Come on hither. They're a little bit shook. They're like, wait a minute. Do I really have the 8? Can you verify? And they're asking everybody else, can you verify that this is number 8? She said 8. Did you hear 8? Like, that's who she wants. That's what's going on. That's who he wants. And I just saw the number 1001 on my camera. So it almost gives me like the 1010 vibes. I think that people think that people are falling into place, but they're not really quite sure where they fit in with a 1001 at the end. It's almost like they're thinking, okay, does that flip for it to be a 1010? Also, it alludes to that fact that I talked about before. It's like your view is a 10. I didn't say that exactly, but I meant that. And then I feel like they're kind of feeling like I'm a 1, you know, that kind of a thing. So they're thinking, wouldn't you choose a 10? But what you see in people is a 10. So it's a natural evolution. And that to me also alludes to like a deep friendship. Friends can fall into deep love or lust with you, right? And I feel like with that being said, people can have a lot of fantasies about you. But let's explore a little bit more about what's going on with you. Pile number 2. What? The 5 of Pentacles? Say it isn't so. So this little witch, sounds like I'm saying something totally different, but this little witch is on ice, okay? And people, like, when you withdraw your love, your warmth, if you are partnered and you decide, you know what, I have a headache today, that old cliche of, yeah, I don't want to have any smecks today because I have a headache, or I'm washing my hair, or I don't know what excuses modern day people have come up with, but whatever the case is, I feel like that is deeply, deeply felt by your partner. It's almost like the rain clouds and storms are coming through, and it's like, oh, I got to get my P's and Q's on because I'm about to be judged. This feels very like court system-ish, or very like the verdict is, or survey says. And I feel like maybe people can view your love is so powerful, and a little bit like they have these high expectations that they could feel they've set themselves up to walk in as if they're going to be judged. And that's kind of crazy, right? But I feel like they're going to judge their own performance, and that's what the Five of Pentacles is. It's almost like they take themselves out of the game by being physically present, but like mentally they're kind of like freaking out or doing something completely different, because I feel like they're geeking out on you, like, oh my gosh, I'm with my crush, that kind of a thing. But they're not bringing their true selves to the table. They're calm centered, and it's like, okay, now I'm present, the freak out is over, and I can really enjoy myself, that kind of a thing. So there's something about that iciness. Also, I feel like this can allude to being intimidated. So people can feel your sexual love in such a way that that it feels intimidating, right? And maybe you walk in with finesse, and maybe you have incredible like dancer-like moves, and maybe perhaps you have a way of like looking at people in the eyes, and maybe like when you lean forward and slightly part your lips, and they're like, whoa, holy cow, what just happened right there? You know, it's a little bit like if somebody's close enough within the vicinity, that can have a lot of implications, and they could be thinking, what the hell just happened to my body? So I feel like they can react a lot, quite a bit. And I don't think that you're doing this deliberately. I just feel like you're in touch with your body. You're in touch with like your sensuality, and maybe you're not even thinking anything of it. But definitely, pile number 2, people are seeing and feeling this, okay? So the King of Pentacles right here. How is your love felt in the Eros sense? So we have about 8 different types of Greek love. One of them being Eros, and that's sexual. And this is agape, agape love. So people feel like you do have an agape love for them. So even though when you are like sexual and you have that deep connection, that deep friendship, that kind of a thing, they feel like you also have a love for everyone, okay? That you have almost like a love for Mother Earth, a love for stones. Maybe you collect crystals. I'm all love of money. Well, you know, it does make the girl go round. No, she did not say, I did not say that, but I did. So maybe, I have no idea. Maybe this is a little bit like, what is that called? You know, like the old, I don't know, like being a stripper, or, you know, selling services that are not approved of in this land. I don't know. Also, this chair that he's sitting on, the throne that he's sitting on, they look like fingers, like hands. So something about your hands could be like very erotic, or very compelling, or very you're like, what are my tools? And you're like, here we go. Okay, it could be, I mean, I tell my patients that, but and no, I'm not like a proctologist or anything. I'm an optician, okay? So don't play with me. But listen, you know, hands are tools too, right? So whatever. Anyways, so this person's got like big old deep boots, and they're like, whoa, I'm in the thick of it right now. Also, I feel like when people come towards you and how your love is felt, it can feel a little bit stealthy. It could feel a little bit cloaked. It could feel a little bit like a surprise as well. It's like, well, I had all these fantasies and ideas, and I had no idea it would be this. And it's way deeper than I thought, and I am not totally prepared. You can take people down a really deep rabbit hole with the way that you love in a sexual way. Pile number 2. What? You give people anxiety. Oh, hey, maybe this is like laying on a bed of nails while you like tickle them with a feather. I don't know. I mean, we don't kink shame on this channel, by the way. If you haven't noticed already, you know, it is whatevs, okay? So I'm going to say with a 9 of Swords right here, we have all of these coins. It feels like, again, 9 of Pentacles. It's almost like people can get really angst about it. Like if you were even to try to be like, oh, hey, we're going to meet here. I feel like people would get all up in their heads. Hey, are we going to, you know, is my room clean enough? Do I look good enough? I feel like the night before they won't be able to sleep. They're like, what is my footwear going to be like? Or the other way of looking at it is I feel like people can really get obsessed with your feet. They could have foot fetish, or you could have foot fetish or foot play, whatever the case may be. Or you could be somebody who likes to play servant and master. There is no shame in that game. But I do feel like maybe you edge people. You could put people on edge. Now, the death card, I feel like I'm hearing the old me is dead and gone, dead and gone. Listen, I know JT's been canceled, okay, but hear me out. This do be feeling like you have changed everything for people whenever they encounter your love, like your sexual love. At the very least, if they wind up walking away, they think about the time when you had that fire all to yourselves, when it was all encompassing, all consuming. And in some ways, it was very, very protective. It could feel very Victorian. Maybe there's a little bit of like biting and playing or scratching. I don't know what your deal is. And, you know, do you, that's fine. But I'm going to say with these curtains right here, it could feel a little bit like gothic or emo. And I love all that. So, hey, we're here for it. Pile number 2, again, no kink shaming. I feel like you change people. You change people from living in their heads on how things could be, would be. They have this phenomenal experience, whatever that experience is that they have or had with you, and there is no going back, okay? They can't duplicate it for sure. Pile number 2, how's your love felt? Eros edition. So the 8 of coins, people want to put in their work, but your love specifically is felt that you put in the work, that you are transformational. All of these butterflies are transforming how this guy, this person thinks, how they see, how they taste, how they smell things. I feel like, can I say that? Can I say that? Should I say that? Well, you know the whole thing about like drinking pineapple juice and whatnot. And if you know, you know, then that's great. But I also feel like the 8 of coins. I mean, this guy has a bunch of quill. It looks to me like quills, isn't it? For the bow and arrow? Well, anyways, I feel like they are thinking, well, okay, I need to practice. I need to rehearse. I need to, that kind of a thing, or I need to bring out my A game. And they get transformed. And I feel like the way that you transform people is not like, ooh, I'm going to be the best then. I'm going to put on my best game. I'm going to, no, you get involved in your senses, and you therefore, like, you enjoying your senses. Why are we talking about this? I don't know. You enjoying your senses gives people so much pleasure as well, that they're like, whoa, I had no idea that I would be riveted by somebody's face while they are, you know, in the act, or while they're enjoying things. And I'm feeling a lot of like energy workers in this pile right here specifically. So you could do a lot of like, I don't know, I'm all jiu-jitsu people. I'm thinking about that one TikTok where the girl's like, oh, you know, watching somebody being kind of tossed about the room. And she's like, if you do that to me, I'm giving you babies. And I just had a laugh. Oh, it's totally my sense of humor. But anyways, moving on, Chris, I'll ring it back here. Reel it back. Okay, so yeah, but they definitely feel like it's almost like ready, aim, fire. And they're like, wait a minute, we can enjoy it like this moment. And there's so much more than just like, ooh, I reach gold and that kind of a thing. I feel like you change their mind. You help them to grow, to really expand what their idea is of having like a sexual relationship and that kind of a thing. And even what love is, okay? Because I feel like it could be all consuming. It could be all perfecting, right? Or you guys can have an agreement like, okay, we're going to, you know, do this kind of a play, and nobody is allowed to come, basically. So moving on. Also, I just got a notification on my phone. It said broadcast. So maybe it's like people want to broadcast their experience with you. Pile number 2. Okay, the 2 of wands right here. And you, yeah, it's the same way that the serpent is kind of like, you know, going up this man and looking at their eye. And it is said that, you know, serpents can transfix you, especially the ones where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like, na 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 na. I'm a loss for words, you guys. Sorry today. Why? What is it called? Well, it's like the snake charmer, right? The snake charmer. And I feel like sometimes people walk into your arena, and I don't know, I'm calling it arena, but here we are. They walk into your arena and they think that they're going to be that snake charmer. Oh goodness, Grisel. But you're the one who winds up charming. So the snake, they get charmed by the snake, right? So instead of like who's charming who, and then all of a sudden it's like you're having this wild experience and nobody knows like who seduced who, or who has the edge on things or who has like the right angles. It's all about like both being mesmerized kind of a thing and riveted. And I feel like this could be very much like a 5D sexual experience as well. So I feel like even long after you're gone, they're gone, whatever the case is, these people can even try to astral project or have like physicalities on the astral plane as well. That's what I have for you. If you're liking this kind of reading, do like, share, comment, subscribe. If I've offended you, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to say, but wait, there's more. Love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi, Pal 3. My name is Griselle with Tough Doll Tarot, here to do your reading. Today we're reading about how is your love life felt? Pal number 3, you chose the image on the right-hand side of your screen. I love this image. So many implications here, considering the topic. Pile number 3, I'm just checking out like the wings. I'm looking at how the whole bubble gum, the whole, you know, almost like listening to your own vibe thing. There's a lot going on. So I channeled information before I started rolling on film, right? What I got from this image was fun. And I get a lot of like fun, a lot of foreplay, a lot of just trying different things. You could belong to things like FetLife or any other adult websites. I don't know. You could be somebody who is into experimenting, experiencing. You could have like multiple partners, but how your love is felt is that you bring play and you bring a lot of variety into the boudoir. Let's just say that. Also, hey, if you're 18 plus, please do, 18 plus stay. I'm all telling you guys to click off. That makes no sense. Griselle, if you're 18, under 18, this reading is not for you. Okay. Definitely not intended for you. No. Plenty of stuff out there for you. Okay. The rest of you guys, 18 and above, plus, here we go. So, how your love is felt, Eros style. Eros is your smexual. How do they feel about you smexually? So your love is felt as being incredibly fun, diversified, I heard, kind of like a financial portfolio. So I'm looking at like choking and gagging, some airplay with asphyxiation. It doesn't have to be. I know if anybody chokes me, you're going to get the TKO, the total knockout. It's not happening. But anyways, this isn't about me. Pile number 3, I'm going to say that for you, sounds are a really big deal. So the way that you sound could be incredibly different, very unexpected, and very erotic to the people that you've been with or that you are with currently. So I'm also feeling with this image is blindfolds could be a big thing. Sensory deprivation heightens other senses as well. And so you could be somebody who's brought this into the forefront or just simply experimented with your partner, partners, plural, whatever your thing is. And I feel like that could have left such a lasting impression that people ruminate and think about it long after. I heard the episode is over, but long after your encounter is over, I don't know, you're seeing whatever you're into. So you could be into also role-playing, dominatrix. You could like to tie them up and make them wait by walking away or going shopping. I don't know. Some people like to be put in cages. Some people like to have you make them wear devices, and then, you do whatever it is you do, whether you walk away, you come check up on them, or they have to prove that they still have those devices on or in, whether it's a gag with a red ball in the mouth, whatever, or plugs or whatever your thing is. But I feel like you're very diverse, okay? You're very mixed bag of experience, you are. And good for you. Pile number 3. How is your love felt? Eros edition. Your love is felt by having fun. Maybe you like to go to masquerades. Maybe you like to go to dress-up parties. Maybe you're into like the furry life. I don't know. That could be a thing, right? Maybe you like to dress up like a raccoon or a fox or whatever the thing is and go to these like parties and experience different things. I feel like with the Three of Cups, it's always like a good time. Maybe not for a long time, but, you know, dibble-dabbling here and there and things like that. So maybe you like to wear masks. And how your love is felt is that it's different. It is unusual. And I feel like effervescing, like this is effervescing over everything. If you ever, this is old school, don't judge me. If you ever grabbed like an Alka-Seltzer and stuck it in a little bit of water and it just went psh. Now, modern day, younger people would say, well, if you grab the bath bomb, that's the experience. And yes, to both. Okay, to either one. But here we go. Everything's about frame of reference. Pile number 3. If you're liking these kind of readings, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. This is my second channel, and my other channel, my first one, it is called PsychicMD. If you're curious about it, check it out, where I have over 700 videos, very similar in nature to these. You can peruse for your viewing pleasure. Also, I have giveaway readings in each of my channels, and you can find those under the community tab, respectively. Pile number 3. How is your love felt? How's your smegdual self felt? The Page of Cups. So maybe you're very much like, gosh, it could be, I'm hearing wordplay. Cups is like emotions. So I feel like you could appeal to people's emotions, and that's emotions here, right? So it could be all inclusive. It could be that you make everybody feel special. Everybody feels safe. It could feel very genuine and innocent. It feels like innocent play, but then people could be like, whoa, where do you get that from, Mr. Miss Innocent, you know, that kind of a thing. So you could have a very, oh, that makes sense. Hold on, because one of the 8 love types of Greek love, where is that one? Ludus, playful love. So I feel like you're, how is your love felt? It would be Eros and Luda. Not, I'm all Luda. Okay, I'll spare you the rest. Life partner. So anyways, it's very playful love. I feel like you could be very playful, very quirky, and very off the cuff and willing to try different things. And you're like, oh, well, that was fun. Let me try this instead, that kind of a thing. And people never really know what to expect. Let's see. Try anything. Oh, okay. And then I got like, you could, I don't know if you're into it or somebody else, but your love is remembered as like maybe they were into feet or smelly feet. Hey, it's a thing. We don't kink shame on this channel at all. So beware of that. So you could have put their feet all over them, or they could have, I don't know, a lot could have gone on with foot play. Your way, that way, both ways, I don't know. But life partner right here, your romance is stable and ready to go the distance. People feel like you can go the distance with all of your bag of tricks, with all of, maybe you even have bags of toys. Maybe you even attend like parties like that. It could be, you know, swinger parties or whatever parties. I don't know your life. But your love is felt like you are a mixed bag for sure. And it's like tricks are for kids. I'm hearing that cereal, you know. And you could make people feel young again. You could have a lot of youth about you. Open your heart. Love is the highest energy of all. Let it in. Listen, pile number 3, how is your love felt? Let it in, okay? Eros, this is your smegdual love. And it's like, hey, let it in. People just want to come towards you. And really, I'm hearing like oral fixations. They could have many different oral fixations and really, want to experience all of that with you, okay? How's your love felt? Pile number 3. How is your love felt? Your smexual love felt? Smexual feeling. Marvin Gaye. Sexual healing, Gristle. It's sexual healing. Yep. Look. 10 of Wands. I feel like you can relieve the burdens from people that are feeling like the burden of life. Maybe they feel even older than their age and things like that. When they come to the mat with you, the mat, I'm going to call it the mat, but the bed, the boudoir, the couch, the floor, the shower, the kitchen table, I don't know your life, whatever. Even the office, right? When they come towards you, I feel like they have a lot of burdens. They have a lot of burdens on their lap. And part of what draws you to them is, or them to you, whatever, is that you make them feel youthful. You make them feel young and vibrant. Once again, you make them feel like, wow, I could actually set aside my worries, my stresses, all the burdens that I'm carrying on me. I can put those aside and try. I heard this tickle me Elmo. I don't know what that is. But listen, I feel like they can put aside their burdens, and how your love is felt is that you help people to be able to kind of reset, regenerate, replenish themselves, okay? And then rinse and repeat. I feel like these people could be like, you know what, let me go ahead and try. And all of a sudden they're into like lip biting, and there are different oils going on, because I'm getting a lot of things to do with like tasting and different treats, and, you know, even taking back that reference from 9.5 weeks from pile number 2. Maybe you're a part of that pile as well. If you are, hello again. But 9.5 weeks where they're at the kitchen, and he's pulling out all these things from the kitchen, and he's blindfolded her, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I watched it. And he's like feeding her different things, and they're just having a lot of fun in the kitchen right next to the fridge, and making a huge mess, okay? But it's very like sensual, very, okay, what do you think of this texture? What do you think of this oil? How is this feeling? And what do you think of that sensation? Different experiments to see, you know? And maybe perhaps you guys even have like a little form, and you're kind of like, okay, the spikes or this, you know, they like it an 8 out of a 10. They like this, a 6 out of 10. Or maybe it's mental, but you have the ability to let people put their guard down, put down all that hinders, and just to really get involved in the experience, in the moment, and really enjoy their lives. They feel like a million times better. That light just flickered because my toe hit the switch. Ew, toe play. We're doing it here. Just kidding. So pile number 3, the Queen of Swords. Now you're incredibly intellectual, and maybe those lists, and maybe you're somebody who takes mental notes. Maybe you have a way with words. Maybe you have powers of incredible observation. Zoom in, please. Let's look. We have the owl right here. I feel like you are led by your own intuition as well, but also you want to have fun. A lot of times you could be like seemingly stoic or unapproachable, or somebody that's a little bit scary. And I heard like somebody who would like kink shame, but you are, and you have fan-freaking-tastic hair, by the way. So I'm thinking of, one of my friends, I don't know if this would be her pile, if she's even watching, but regardless, I'm going to say amazing hair. And with all the blue, very articulate, with the pastel skies behind, I feel like a way of communicating. I heard even a way of levitating, a poise about you, that kind of a thing. And it seems like this hand, it's kind of, are you gripping this way? I'm not sure what's going on with the hand. It seems kind of weird, but definitely very observational. And with this beautiful flower pot right here, I feel like you could be, again, into the senses of like smelling and things like that. Maybe you have oils that smell like Skittles. I don't know your life, right? Sounds intriguing to me. Pile number 3. The Emperor. The Emperor right here, this is like, okay, I dominate, I rule. This is how I want it. And maybe perhaps your love is felt in a sexual way as like, okay, you decide how things go. You call the shots. You're like, okay, well, you're going to get on... I don't think I can say that here. Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me think. Different scenario. And maybe you're kind of like, okay, you're going to sit here and you're not allowed to touch me whatsoever. And then this is going to happen and that's going to happen, that kind of a thing. And I almost felt like when I looked through the camera, this was split in half, this throne. And it was like 2 people in a shroud, both looking opposite ways, back to back. And I feel like you really bring your A game on. You can have like back to back different ways of helping people experience themselves, so that in the end they feel kind of like less stressed and relaxed and more like even in charge of their own life. But it's because you took charge. And I feel like sometimes you could feel a little bit like people are up against a wall. I just saw 1313. So you allow people to end certain eras of their lives and things in order to come towards you with a new experience. All right, with the 2 endings, the 13, I equate that to like the intro, the death card as well. And I think that was President pile number 2, if I'm not mistaken. So, pile number 3. How is your love felt? We have the Magician. Yeah. You have the ability to bring down from the ethers, okay? You bring down from the heavens onto earth whatever it is that people desire. And I feel like even intuitively you do it with the Queen of Swords right here, powers of observation, also the power of having that libido on point, of going after what it is that you want, of chasing all the things that really, or even drawing them to you. Or maybe perhaps your method of chasing is intellectual and you're like, I'm going to play with your mind until you come to me, that kind of a thing. So you could experience in a lot of different modalities, be open to a lot of different things, and have a lot to say. You could know anatomy super well. You could have mastered a lot of different things. And with the Magician right here, I feel like you have a lot of different skills brought to the bedroom. And this is how it's your presence is felt, how your Eros, how your sexual love is felt, is that you have a lot of tools at your disposal. And it could be toys and things like that, but I feel like your tools is your mind above and beyond all else. So it is powerful. It is the most important sex organ anyways. And right here, I like the way he's, well, I like the way he's sitting. Just like a lot of confidence. And it's like, all right, well, you're going to come to me, you're going to do this. And this one is like, hey, I'm going to make you, maybe you're remembered as somebody who has a lot of fluid. Okay, and keep in mind, this is gushing forward. It's flowing. So you can use, you know, your own discerning abilities as to what I really mean. Because listen, number 1515 right now on the clock, I ain't trying to piss off any more people than I do already. But the day is young, folks. Pile number 3. How is your love felt? With the 8 of Swords, people get all up in their heads about you. They got all up in their heads. And then they think, well, if I look at you long enough, am I going to turn to stone? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to move. What moves can I make? And I feel like there's a lot of transformation going on. We're not going to get into the story of Medusa, but that could be a thing as well, where you guys, I don't know. I'm not going to even go there. Anyways, the 4 of Cups right here. I feel like, yeah, you could be even in the middle of like some encountership. That's not even a word, you guys. Some encountership with some person, who knows. Or, again, it's giving me like voyeuristic. Maybe your love is felt by you being a voyeur, right? You're kind of like, I'm going to watch you and you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Maybe you're like instructional. Maybe you're like a tutorial instructor. And you're like, okay, this is what you're going to do. Or maybe you are demonstrative and you exude that self-love, but also display self-love and show people what self-love is to you, right? What your sexuality, what you really enjoy having done, so that they can in turn imitate it, or they can enjoy the show, whatever your thing is. So if you're liking this kind of reading, do give me like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm going to keep it clean on this channel, and I'm just going to be on straight and narrow. And here we are. Okay, but that's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. And until next time, pile number 3, namaste.